Well, today I want to show you some of the things that I do every single day in our day-to-day lives to help us save money. If you're new to our channel, I'm Julia. I'm one half of the Canny couple, a small homestead family in rural Virginia that works every single day to merge homesteading and frugality. And for me, frugality is a journey. You learn to do things every single day that are going to help you save money in the long run. And that's what this is all about. Little changes that I make every day, little things that I do every single day, little tweaks, adjustments that are going to help us save money. And while it might not seem like a huge pile of money right now, it's going to end up being more money as we save, as we build, and we keep making more changes. And I feel like that's one of the misconceptions with frugality. Like, yeah, you can make some massive changes and cut bills like that. You can. We did it. We did it when we paid off our house. Hey, there's a big bill we didn't have to pay anymore. We did it when we lowered our phone bills. We went, for me, I was paying $25 a month. We went from that to $15 a month. We took Aaron from like $60 a month to $25 a month just by making a switch. So you could save really quickly, cutting subscriptions, all of that. But for me, my day-to-day life, just making small adjustments, just thinking outside the box a little bit. And I want to share with you that we really do the things that we talk about. If I tell you something, I've probably done it. Most likely, like 99%, 99.99% of the time. There's very little that I don't tell you to do, for the most part, that I wouldn't do myself. Like, one of the things, like, if you're not good with credit cards, I would tell you not to use a credit card. I would tell you to use cash. We don't use cash, we use a credit card. But we are also very, very disciplined when it comes to using that. But sometimes we also use cash. It just depends on what we're doing, where we're going, and what our goal is. So follow along with me as we go throughout my day from the beginning to the end and see how we save money all day long. And every morning we start off with a cup of homemade coffee, and we have our setup actually to use a stainless steel coffee filter. That kind of helps with our costs as well, because we never have to buy coffee filters again. This is washable, reusable, and I can do this in a K-cup format. We got this particular coffee pot because it does have K-cup options. I just have to put the K-cup basket in there. But for me, in all reality, it's just one more thing I have to wash. So I will typically just use half of our big scoop here, and that helps cut out our costs. This is just for me. If it were for Aaron, we'd be making a much larger pot of coffee. So if you see here, it actually says the amount of coffee is 3 to 5 or 4 to 7. We don't use anywhere near that much coffee. So that's another way we save money every single day. So this might not seem like a lot of savings, but trust me, coffee at home helps you save a little bit of money every single day, every single week. Minimum cup for a cup of coffee in our area is probably going to be about $3. So that's quite a bit of money saved there. I have canning to do today, and instead of using my stovetop canner, I'm using my electric pressure canner. Now, this is really homesteading, something that I do to help us save money every single week, every single day, because today I'm canning chicken. I got on sale. And the reason I'm canning chicken, because it was cheaper for me to can chicken and I would get more out of it from the chicken that was on sale than buying the canned chicken that was also on sale. So I decided it made more sense financially for us for me to get it and can it, especially with my electric pressure canner. My electric pressure canner uses a lot less energy than my stovetop canner, and it keeps my house cooler, which is important in the summertime. Even now, because in the evenings it's kind of cool, in the mornings it's kind of cool, and then it gets really, really hot. So this is one of the things that I do on our homestead every single day right now. Right now it's every single day. Usually it's once a week, but right now it's every single day, sometimes twice a day, to help us save money. I run this electric canner, and it costs way, way less than me using my stovetop pressure canner. Another thing that I'm doing every day, especially right now to help us save money, is whenever the house is at the temperature I want it to be, I typically start turning our fans off. So the weather has changed for us in our area. Now we're getting really cool nights. So I'm trying to maximize that. I'm pushing all that cold air into the house at night, and then we have warm days, and I'm actually able to turn the air conditioning units off. So it's 73 here. That's about where I want it to be. I'm going to turn this off, and it keeps the house cool. Now, if I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking, I might actually turn that air conditioning unit on low. So how does it save us money? So we went from using between the two about 1.5 kilowatt hours a day. When today, so far, this in our bedroom has used 0.1 kilowatt hours so far today. And I'll turn this back on tonight whenever the sun goes down. It's a lot cooler outside, and we'll push that cold air in here for a little while, turn it off at bedtime, and then do it again in the morning. The one in the dining room I leave on all night long, and it really does help keep the house cool. If we're not going to be here, I turn them both off. The house is staying about 73, 74 degrees, keeping us cool. It really has worked out well for us, but we're in that area where it could be a false fall. We could have a 90-degree day tomorrow. So I do leave the air conditioning units in the window just in case we need to actually use the AC and not use just the fan. But right now I'm really leaning on these fans because the fans for these sip energy. If it's on low, it might pull 10 watts at that point. On high, I think it's like 40, so it pulls hardly any energy at all. But during the day, like when we use it on the air conditioning, it will use like between the two of them, probably about 2 kilowatt hours, sometimes a little bit more. It really just depends on the weather outside and how hard they're actually having to work. So this is really helping us cut our costs down. Another thing we are doing, or I have been doing, is to help us save money every single day is we have actually lowered all of our fans to low. So in the heat of the summer, I turn it up to medium. Right now, we're kind of in that coolish kind of area where we can actually lower these fans or even turn them off. A lot of times I'm actually flipping this one off completely in our bedroom when I have our fan in the window running. And it's actually working really well. So turning these on low, they use half the wattage as if you have them on high during the day. And if you're curious and you don't know, because these are very hard to test, I totally understand. Go look at AI. You could type in your fan if you have the model or anything like that. Even if you go look at it where you bought the fan or you have the fan installed, it can be really hard to see what kind of energy it's actually using. What we did is we actually typed in AI. We're able to figure out how much energy these things are actually kind of using, get a good estimate, and go from there to make our decisions about how we are running these things. So right now, running them on low if we're running them at all, and we only turn them up on high if we absolutely need to because it's really, really hot outside. But most of the time right now, these are on low. That's helping us save money. Pennies equal dollars, people. Pennies equal dollars. Today is laundry day, and most people... you would say most normal people, Julia, will take their laundry after they take it out of the washing machine and throw it into their dryer. Well, I don't like to tell people to do anything that I don't do every single day. And I'm going to tell you, I do not use dryer. I don't have a working dryer. We have one, but I'm not 100% sure if it works. So we are just going on the assumption that it does not work. I hang up our clothes. We hang them up outside or we hang them up on hangers. Every time I do laundry, every single time. And I'm going to tell you, since we've moved to the hangers and since we've moved to our new setup for the house, I have been so much more efficient at putting up our clothes. So not only do the clothes not pile up and create a mess for me to deal with at a future date, but I'm much better at putting them up. And we save a lot of money. Aaron used to use the dryer. He didn't realize when he stopped using the dryer how much of a difference that was going to make on our power bill. When your dryer is an electric dryer, it's going to pull a lot more energy than you realize. So I've been doing this since before I met Aaron. Whenever I lived at home, I was always using, my gram kind of taught me how to hang up clothes. It was her habit. It kind of helped our clothes last longer. And I will tell you, our clothes do last longer as hanging up. So we will hang all these up, get them on the hangers, get them hung up, or take them outside. Another thing that I'm doing today to help save money is my little one has a princess dress that is falling apart. You see, we've got a hole here in a dress. If I can get it open, yep, we've got a hole. I need to restitch this in. It's still perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with this dress at all. It just needs to be reattached because she's almost grown out of it. It's only going to be good for a couple more weeks, another month or two at most, with her size, because you know, at that age they grow all the time. I need to sew this up so we can have it because we wear princess dresses every day. I have 3 of them and we rotate between them. So we go between one princess dress to the other, and having that on hand. But all I'm going to do is use needle and thread. I could pull out my sewing machine, but for something like that, I usually don't. So I mend our clothes. If I see something that has a hole, I have put many patches and pairs of Aaron's breeches in his lounging pants or anything like that. Anything that has like weaker stitches. I can tell you the older stuff tends to last a lot longer. The stitching's different. Newer stuff, the stitching is not seem to be that great. So I tend to have to put a needle and thread into the newer stuff. I also been doing this for our sheets. We have a one set of sheets that have gotten holes in them. They were brand new when we opened them up. They didn't last a year. They're t-shirt sheets, the jersey, and they've just fallen apart. But I needed them to last one more season, and that was the season. And then I was going to replace them with something else. And so how do I do that? I just get a little bit more use out of it with some simple needle and thread. It works really well. And it helps us save money in the long run because instead of going out spending $10, $15, $20 on another princess dress for everyday wear, I can just make this one last just a little bit longer, or make, a pair of pants last a couple more months, a couple more years, anything to help stretch how long these things last so we can save that money for another use. One of my favorite ways to help us save money, especially in the kitchen, is to bulk prep our vegetables when we have them. So these are some patty pan squash that we were gifted. Some of them are a little old, and some of them are a little more young, tender. This one was a little harder, so it was a little older. And I like to always bulk cook my vegetables, especially when I have squashes, sweet potatoes, things like that. And I can make a huge helping of them, a huge amount. And instead of cooking like a half of a squash now and one sweet potato and running the oven, or even my little Ninja oven, my little convection oven on top of the countertop, instead of running that every day, I do a whole big bulk prep and get all of it done at once. I mean, to me, it doesn't take me that much longer to go ahead and prep all of these vegetables at one time versus if I just prep one at a time. I have more mess if I prep them every single day, and I have more dishes I have to wash later. If I do it all at one time, I get it all done. So I'm saving money on washing the dishes, how much soap we have to use on the silverware, all of that. I'm saving money on how long it takes to cook them, and I'm saving myself time, effort, and energy later on whenever I have to actually cook these, because all I have to do is reheat them. They reheat just fine. And I will tell you, this is like one of my best cooking hacks. If you have lots of vegetables and you're trying to figure out like, how do I cook these? Just oven roasting them with a good seasoning is amazing. So that's what I'm doing here. As you can see, I get through all of these squashes and some sweet potatoes, and I'm going to just season them lightly with some seasoning after I get them all done. And I'm going to cut them to where the sweet potatoes are going to cook evenly, because the patty pans aren't going to take as long. So that's kind of what you have to think about, like how long is this going to take to cook, and make sure you're cooking things in a time to where everything kind of gets done together. And now how I'm going to season them. So I'm going to put some seasoning that we got on sale on top of them. Just I use quite a bit, so most people wouldn't use this much. We use a bit because Aaron really likes it. Now, this is one of Aaron's favorite ways to eat vegetables, and usually I like to put carrots, and he loves it with rutabagas and turnips and everything in it, and it's one of his favorite ways to eat it. It's really good with butternut squash. It's one of the best ways to have your vegetables, and it's so easy to do. You just throw them in, throw them with some oil, throw them with some seasoning, bake them at 350 until cooked and done and tender. Cooked to the tenderness you like them. It works really well. And again, you're just going to have to kind of figure out how long that takes. My mom would make these in such bulk. She would do them in a trash bag, like a clean trash bag or a big clean bag. I just use a bowl. This time I didn't have so many that I couldn't use this little bowl, but you can tell here that I'm adding some more seasoning, because I know my husband, he likes seasoning. And this is probably one of the things I go through the most, is seasoning in the house, especially in the kitchen. But I have a lot of seasoning that we've got on sale that I need to get through to replace with something new. So I'm just going to work through it, get it into this pan, and then start getting it baked off. And it did turn out really good. The sweet potatoes were absolutely spectacular. They were amazing. This is my favorite way to eat just a savory sweet potato with seasoning on it. Otherwise, we just eat them plain. But if you're looking for a different way to cook your stuff, this is kind of like a really great to bulk prep all your food. Bulk cooking is an amazing way to save money on your grocery bills. You get it all done at once. And it's not just, cooking, it's also all the rest that you have to think about, like the dishes and all that. Like I said before, it really does help you in the long run. And you save time. You don't have to cook it tomorrow. You have food ready for tomorrow or the next day if you all like leftovers. These usually always taste better the next day. Always, always. That's one of those things. Like vegetables, a lot of food will taste better the next day. You just have to kind of test to know what those recipes are. And I'm going to add a little bit more seasoning here to the top because, again, I know my husband and I cook for us and not for anybody else. And that's kind of how I look at it and view the world. We're going to make sure it's nicely seasoned. And here it is, beautiful and tasty. And now another thing that I do to help us save money is I have been making a lot of things from scratch. So right now I'm going to make some cream of cheddar soup from scratch, homemade. And a lot of people might say, well, Julia, making things from homemade might not really be more cost effective. Well, for us it is. One can of cream of cheddar soup when I last bought it was almost $3. So for me, it is cheaper. It is much cheaper to make the amount that I need because, and you can tell here I added a little bit too much flour, so I'm having to work with that. And I kind of messed this one up, but it does work out well, and it worked out well on our recipe as well. But you make it from homemade and it does help. You can find recipes online. You can see recipes that I have. And I'm one of those cooks that tries to go with it the easiest way possible, the simplest way possible to get the meal done. And for me, I will tell you, homemade tastes better. The cream of soups homemade are 1,000 times better than anything you get at the store. They're so, when I made stuffing with homemade cream of celery soup, it was out of this world amazing. It was the best stuffing, and I make a good stuffing. It was the best stuffing I had ever had. So learning how to do a few things homemade, it really does help. It does help you save money, and it really can help cut your costs down, especially at the grocery store, because you're not buying, single items. You're buying a lot of different items that you can use in different ways. I can use butter 1,000 ways. I can use flour 1,000 different ways. I can also use milk 1,000 different ways and cheese 1,000 different ways. So all of these are super versatile, and that helps you save money as well. You can do it in so many different ways and really make it work for you and your family. And that's what it's all about. Finding ways to save money to work for you and your family. I make our bread. I really do cook for us, and I really try to make sure that I'm saving us as much money as I can, especially in the kitchen, like for homemade pizzas, anything like that. All those little savings that I get by making it homemade really do add up and help us keep our grocery budget low and allow us to put our money where we want it to for our long-term goals. And that's the name of the game, is to really make your money work for you in addition to you working for your money. Not only am I bulk cooking our vegetables for the week, I'm also bulk cooking our main course for the week. This week we're having a hamburger, cheeseburger pasta, and one of the ways I save money is not using my traditional cooktop. I'm actually using this. And you can see here it's got a choice of your wattages, and I'm going to choose to do the 600 watts. So it uses half the wattage of my small stove compared to just half the wattage of small stove. This is a big pot. It would need a bigger stove. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. Get this water boiling. And I'm going to turn it down because we're very careful about our countertops. And it's going to do its cooking, and we're going to get this cooked up and made. Another thing I did today to help us save money is my little one is really rough on cards. I don't know if anybody else's little one is obsessed with cards. And I could have bought number cards and ABC cards, and we have bought them, but they don't last long. So I had this card stock that we actually got when we got married, and I kept it because I still had some extra. We actually got it all really cheap, and it works just fine. It will be more durable for us, and it's just a way for me to use this up. So I had the markers, get into my arts and crafts, make some numbers, make some letters, and please the little one. And all while I'm saving money and just using what I did. It took me probably 15 minutes to do it all. I still have to make some more things to the ABCs, but we'll get that done, get it taken care of, and she will be happy as a lamb. Now that I have cooked dinner, I'm getting the dishes ready to start. I'm getting ready to start my dishwasher. And what I actually do with my dishwasher is these things last forever. I don't use a full scoop of this. I don't need a full scoop of this, so I actually use about a third. If I need to, I might use a half, but I use very, very little of this powder. And then throw a little bit here and close it. And then the other thing I do to save money with our dishwasher is, believe it or not, you would think that this energy saver mode would save you more money. Actually, it does not. We did a test. The 1 hour mode actually saves more money. I don't know why, can't explain it, but that is what it is. So we only run this for an hour, and it is actually cheaper than us running this for the energy saver, which is an hour of 140 minutes. So it's over 2 hours. So I'm going to start this and get that going. Okay, so there we have it. The day is almost done, and I've done a lot of little things that might not seem like a lot of things to save money, but they really do help us in the long run. So like I said when we started this video, frugality for me is all about small changes, small habits, and we build off of those habits and changes to save more and more money. That's really what it's all about for us. We make little tweaks, little adjustments, and we see how that works, and then we see if we can't tweak them more and more. If it's something as basic as, I know my child, I know she's going to rip up cards if she gets the chance to rip up cards. Why would I spend $20 to $30? And yes, you can, or I can even spend $1.25 at the Dollar Tree, or more. It's gone up, $1.50, $3 on flashcards when I have card stock. I have markers that we've already purchased, have on hand, and I can just use those. Why not? Why not? That's the sort of the thing. Making these little conscious decisions like hanging up our clothes, learning how our dishwasher works, because trust me, for over a year I used that energy saver, and when we actually realized it was twice as expensive as using the 1 hour, we switched really, really fast. So little things like this can help you save money in the long run, even if it's just the very basics. And doing one small thing every single day to help you save money, that's the goal for us. We want to make sure we're just taking steps to move in the right direction to save more and more money in the long run. So let me know in the comments below, what have you done today to save money for you and your family, to meet your goals, to pay off your debt, whatever those goals may be, to pay off your house, to buy, stock up your pantry for the upcoming winter. What are you doing? What's your goals? I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments below. As always, make sure you check out our link tree where you see all of our other content. And thank you for joining us on the Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.